We all experience emotional events in our lives. These emotional events are particularly well remembered. And this is adaptive. For many people, it helps to prepare for similar situations in the future. For some people, however, the memory becomes so strong that it becomes really painful and contributes to disorders such as post-traumatic stress disorder. In our RTG, we aim to understand the mechanisms through which emotion shapes learning and memory. And we aim to elucidate how these mechanisms may contribute to stress or emotion-related mental disorders. There are 10 projects in total that focus on different aspects of emotional learning and memory in healthy individuals or clinical populations.
So at the moment I'm working on a research project where we're looking at how stress can influence your memory for not only things that happen when you're stressed, but also for things that happened before or the things that happen afterwards.
In my job, I'm developing and conducting scientific research in the field of neuroscience at the border to endocrinology. So specifically, I'm looking at how the menstrual cycle influences the stress response in adolescent girls and how that in turn influences social and non-social decision-making.
I'm using a relatively new technique. It's called real-time fMRI-based neurofeedback, which I use to train people to upregulate or activate one specific region in the brain called the hippocampus. I want to see if we succeed in training people to upregulate this region, if we can then have people influence the interaction between the hippocampus and other memory systems in the brain, especially under stress.
So in my job as a researcher, I would say I try to find out why some people develop a disorder after they experience a traumatic event, and why other people who experience maybe exactly the same traumatic event or a similar one don't develop that disorder. And in my work as a clinical psychologist, I'm seeing patients on a weekly basis, and also I'm seeing a supervisor who guides me in treating those patients.
Yeah, in the research training group, there are several projects that are interested in why people develop fear of stimuli that should not reasonably elicit fear. And in the project that I'm supervising specifically, we're interested in why people develop paranoid fears, so fear that other people are going to harm them, even if there's no real reason to expect that.
The main goals of this RTG are actually threefold. On the one hand, we aim to understand the basic mechanisms involved in the impact of emotion on learning and memory. Second, we aim to bridge the existing gap between basic research on emotional learning and memory and its clinical applications. And third, and that's very important for this RTG, is the training of a new generation of scientists that is ideally equipped to perform research at the intersection of basic research and clinical translation. Well, we offer an annual summer school in which all PhD students, all PIs, as well as external experts will participate, and all will provide input and insights on the current state and the progress of the relevant projects of this RTG.
One thing I find truly valuable about the RTG is that it provides a community of like-minded people with whom we can collaborate and share information and just generally help each other out.
Research is a lot of trial and error, and this can be very frustrating when done alone. In the RTG, I'm provided with a great network of fellow scientists on the same mission with whom I can exchange ideas and potential solutions.
So you're starting this PhD together with so many other people who are in the same situation as you. You get a lot of peer support, and not only do you have very close contact with your own PI, but you also get access to other researchers who are super helpful and there for you when you need them.
For me, the most special thing about the RTG is the community you get with it and the network that comes with it.
What I like particularly about the RTG is to work with the PhD students, to supervise them in the projects, to encourage them also to pursue their own ideas, and then over time to see what becomes of each of them when they go along their individual paths.
Well, we hope to achieve over the period of 6 to 9 years to have a better understanding of how emotions and stress shape learning and memory processes, and how these effects are represented in the human brain, and how they can contribute to mental disorders, stress or emotion-related mental disorders, as well as the potential treatment applications. If we know about these mechanisms, what can be done to help people suffering from those disorders?
But I think what would be even greater than only treating them is to prevent them even. So that would be the perfect outcome.